Many men spend their lives chasing love, validation, and happiness from women, only to end up heartbroken, used, or trapped. About 200 years ago, a philosopher named Arthur Schopenhauer shared some tough truths about human nature, especially about how men and women interact. These truths are hard to accept, but they can help you understand where you might be going wrong and how to take control of your life. Pay close attention, because what you're about to learn isn't just eye-opening. It is a key that most men will never unlock. Love is not what you think. Schopenhauer didn't believe in romantic fairy tales. He saw love for what it truly is. Not a magical connection or destiny, but a biological urge. It's a trick of nature designed for one main purpose: reproduction. When you feel that intense attraction, that feeling that she's the one, it's not your heart connecting with her soul. Your brain is quietly calculating things like fertility, genetic compatibility, and survival advantages. Women feel attraction too, but their priorities are different. Schopenhauer wrote that love is the ultimate goal of almost all human effort, more important than anything else. But he didn't mean this in a romantic way. He saw love as a trap, a temporary chemical rush that fades once it achieves its goal. Think about it. How many men have ruined their lives chasing a woman who later left without looking back? How many marriages fall apart when the initial passion dies? This isn't random. It's how nature works. Women's choices are driven by instinct. Women don't choose partners based on fairness, loyalty, or logic. They follow a deep, instinctive program that pushes them to seek status, security, and strong genes. A man's devotion doesn't matter if he can't provide these things. Schopenhauer was clear about this. Women are guided more by instinct and emotion than by reason. This isn't an attack, it's just an observation of how biology shapes behavior. Look at modern dating apps where most women compete for the top men. Look at divorce courts where loyalty often leads to financial loss. Look at history where even kings died for women who betrayed them. The pattern stays the same because human biology doesn't change. The myth of mutual love. Most men believe love is mutual. They think if they sacrifice enough, care enough, or prove their worth, they'll be rewarded with lasting love. But Schopenhauer warned that to be loved, you need to be clever, not just kind. Women are drawn to strength, social, financial, and mental strength, not just being nice. This is why the good guy often loses. He misunderstands the rules of attraction, thinking love is earned through service. But women are naturally drawn to men who don't need to please them. Have you noticed how women lose interest after they've won a man? Schopenhauer called this the tragedy of possession. The excitement comes from the chase, not from having someone. Once the goal is achieved, biology moves on. Men who cling too tightly, who make a woman their entire world, often watch her walk away. It's not women's fault. It's nature. Here's the key twist. This isn't women's fault. It's nature's design. When a man understands this, he stops blaming women and starts thinking strategically. Schopenhauer's lesson isn't about hating women. It's about seeing the truth clearly. Love isn't a fantasy. It's a negotiation. And if you negotiate from a place of weakness, you'll lose every time. But this is just the start. The next truth is even tougher. It explains why men today are struggling in relationships and how they can turn things around. Keep reading, because what comes next shows how men have been misled their whole lives. The unfair rules of attraction. Schopenhauer saw something most men today still refuse to accept. The rules of attraction aren't fair or logical. They don't favor men. While society talks about equality, biology follows its own rules. If you ignore these rules, you're setting yourself up to fail. Here's the harsh reality. Women have more power in relationships, not because they're mean, but because nature made them the selectors. From a young age, a woman's value in the dating world is high due to her youth and beauty. And A man, however, has to build his value through hard work, status, and survival skills. Schopenhauer put it bluntly, women are suited to roles like nurturing children because they are, in some ways, childish, impulsive, and focused on the present. He wasn't being cruel, he was pointing out an evolutionary truth. Women's youth and beauty are their currency, and they know how to use it. Look around today. Men are caught in a confusing situation. They're told to be emotionally open, but women still prefer dominant men. They're criticized for wanting traditional masculinity, yet confident, strong men dominate dating apps. Men work hard to provide, but the system often rewards them with divorce and financial loss. The danger of modern dynamics. Schopenhauer warned about these patterns long before modern times. He said women are naturally suited to care for children because they are, in some ways, like big children themselves, focused on the moment, guided by feelings. This isn't an insult. It's about how evolution shaped them. But today, this natural power has been amplified. Social media has turned attention into a currency, and many men are left chasing validation from women who will never fully commit. Why? Because men have been taught a lie, that devotion is enough. Schopenhauer saw this trap before dating apps or social movements. He argued that women's love is conditional, tied to what a man can provide, whether it's status, security, or resources. If a man stops providing, the love fades. This isn't pessimism, it's about survival. Women are wired to seek the best partner. If a man stops growing, she may resent him. If he falls behind, she may move on. And society often supports her choices. Let's look at two types of men. Schopenhauer split men into two groups, those who serve and those who are served. The beta male works tirelessly to prove his worth, but he's often ignored. The alpha male, on the other hand, naturally commands respect and attention. One begs for loyalty, the other inspires it without trying. You see this everywhere. The worker who sacrifices his health for a promotion, hoping his wife will respect him again. The man who gets fit, only to find women want him for short-term flings, not commitment. The guy who spends his money on a woman who leaves when someone better comes along. These men aren't victims. They're choosing to play a losing game. But Schopenhauer didn't just point out the problem. He offered a way out. The first step to winning is to see the world as it is, not as you want it to be. The man who succeeds today doesn't hold on to old romantic ideas. He learns the rules of the game and plays them well. The truth is, the game is rigged, but only if you follow the wrong rules. Here is the toughest truth to accept. This isn't tea about women, it is about you. Once you face this, everything changes. Schopenhauer revealed something that modern psychology now supports. Women don't compete like men. They don't challenge you openly or show their power directly. Instead, their greatest strength is emotional influence, which is subtle, instinctive, and incredibly effective. While men use logic or physical strength, women shape how others see reality. A man might demand what he wants, but a woman convinces you it was your idea. Schopenhauer noted that women are built for a quieter life, focused on caring for children, which makes them live in the present. This focus gives them an edge. They notice tiny details in expressions, tone, and social situations with amazing accuracy. A man thinks he's just talking, but a woman is reading him like a book. Many men think they control their relationships, but they're mistaken. From the first date to the end of a marriage, women guide interactions through small tests. Most men fail these without even noticing. For example, the compliance test. How fast do you drop everything for her? The frame test. Do you stand firm or give in to her emotions? The investment test. Are you chasing her more than she's chasing you? Schopenhauer warned that women are naturally skilled at subtle influence. This isn't about being manipulative. It's how evolution shaped them. In a world where physical strength wasn't enough, emotional intelligence became their key to survival. Women who couldn't read or influence men didn't pass on their genes.